The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. A rough one for the Knicks in Orlando, even though Jalen Brunson went for 33. But Franz Wagner of the Magic, a season-high 37. Orlando scores a season-high 133 points. Knicks now 1-5 on the road as they go down 133 to 121. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Pidto here from our Delta MSG studios. We're going to be on until we get you to Rangers pregame. It's the Rangers at Utah. Game comes your way here on MSG tonight at 9, so a lot coming away over the next hour or so. And for the Knicks, really a struggle on defense as Orlando had its best offensive game of the entire season. And this did not help as Landry Shamet early in the game, that right shoulder, it's the same shoulder he hurt last year. He came out and did not return. Brunson had an excellent first half. Overall, an excellent game. Had 33, drew the foul there. He had 14 points in the first quarter alone. But Wagner got off to a great start as well. He had 12 points in the first quarter. Orlando was up by 2 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Knicks go up 56-54. Mikal Bridges, who had a solid game with 18 points, hits that one. Cat puts the Knicks up 63-56. Cat tonight, 24 points. Knicks were up by 2 at the half, 66-64. Third quarter, it's Suggs. He had a season high as well. Jalen Suggs, a season high 26 for Orlando. Brunson here makes it 91-90. And it was actually 93-all with about a minute to go in the third, but then it was all Magic. They outscored the Knicks 40-28 over the final 13 minutes of the game. Bane for 3. Desmond Bane also had a season high. He had 27, and it's 98-93. Fourth quarter, all Orlando. It's Jonathan Isaac on the offensive putback. Magic go up 104-95. Then Wagner for 3. As the Magic start to pull away, at this point they go up by 10 at 114-104. Magic go on a 13-0 run. It's Suggs. He's going to bury the corner 3. Knicks just couldn't slow down the Magic. They're not known for their offensive fireworks, but they poured it on tonight as they go on to win 133-121. The dagger here, Suggs, the huge jam, and Orlando sinks the Knicks 133 to 121, the final. The Magic shooting 55% from the floor. Knicks were okay shooting the ball, 54%. They matched the Orlando total of 13 threes. You see the rest of the numbers, but Orlando dominates points in the paint, and they score 133 points, a season high for them. Wally Szczerbiak helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York, and now joins us from Orlando. Wally, you talked about in the pregame, you can't get knocked out of your game by Orlando's physicality. Is that what happened tonight to the Knicks? Wally doesn't hear us, but I'm going to just throw it out to Wally and ask him about the physicality there. Because Orlando, Wally talked a lot about it in the pregame show. This Orlando team, you know, they did score 133 points, but it's the physical nature of how they play that often gets its opponents off its game. And the problem tonight was Orlando was able to do that and ultimately pull away in the second half as they went at 133 to 121. Wally, can you hear us in Orlando?
Yes.
What do you think? You talked about it in the pregame, the physicality. Is that what did the Knicks in?
Yes, it was definitely the physicality. The problem was this team is in the Knicks' head, and the Knicks played well for 3 quarters. But then come the fourth quarter, when they had some disjointed lineups out there, some guys that weren't used to playing with certain guys, the defense fell apart at the end of that game. That's just too many points to give up to this team that's not a great offensive team. There were a lot of mismatches that Orlando was able to create and then exploit. That was the big difference. Mitchell Robinson, as good of an interior defender as he is, one of the best in the league at rebounding, blocking shots, he is very uncomfortable going out to that three-point line and guarding an all-star caliber player like Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner had a big-time game, got whatever he wanted. Jalen Suggs knocking down shots. A lot of teams are not used to that. Normally you can kind of cheat off him a little bit and live with him beating you from the three-point line, but he has become a very respectable three-point shooter. And then you're seeing why when they picked up Desmond Bane in the offseason, a lot of teams were like, oh boy, that is the perfect fit for a tough, defensive-minded, strong, physical Orlando Magic team that needed shooting, and that's exactly what Desmond Bane has brought to this squad.
Wally, season highs for Wagner with 37, Suggs with 25, Bane for 27, overshadowing an excellent game from Jalen Brunson, who had 33.
Yeah, Jalen was great, and you could see Jalen's invested in this type game. This game, I was talking about it with Tyler up on the radio booth. It had a playoff feel all the way through to halftime. Both these teams were getting after it. I love the chippiness. Josh Hart getting a technical foul. There were a couple cheap shots trying to make cuts and get through screens. A lot of offensive fouls. I thought the officials did a good job of cleaning up this game and keeping this game where it didn't get out of hand. But at the same time, with the undermanned Knicks roster, there were key moments in the game where there were units out there on the floor that just were not connected. They were not confident, and when you get minutes in the NBA, Mike Brown's going to give you a shot. If you don't produce, you're not going to get any more opportunities, and that might be the case moving forward. There were guys that got a chance to go out there and play against a really good team that's playing good basketball, and if you don't produce, they're going to take advantage. They're going to seize the momentum, and once a good team at home gets the momentum, it's tough to switch that momentum around, and we saw that in the fourth quarter when the Knicks really kind of gave up a lot of easy baskets at the rim.
Well, of course, OG Anunoby's out with a bad hammy. We showed everyone Landry Shamet hurting that right shoulder. Also need to mention Deuce McBride, questionable, under the weather, was unable to play. So that's why the Knicks went with some guys that normally, at least of late, haven't been getting a lot of playing time. We've talked a lot about Franz Wagner. Is it the fact that he's so mobile at 6'10"? What makes him so difficult to stop?
The key to him is the way he handles the ball. For all you young players out there, no matter what size you are, work on your ball handling. It's the most important skill to play the game of basketball. He handles that thing like it's second nature. Left hand, right hand, through the legs, behind the back, and he's 6'10". As a result, he can get wherever he wants on the floor. He can put his defender on skates, put him in the blender, make him move side to side. He's got counter dribble moves. He's got great crossovers. He protects the ball with his length and his body like Magic Johnson used to. And he's also a very capable scorer and skilled player. One thing you can live with him is him to make that outside shot. When he's making that outside shot, he's impossible to guard, because when you put a smaller guy on him like Josh Hart, who's a decent matchup, he can shoot over him. And if you put a big guy like Mitchell Robinson on him, he can take him outside, drive around him with his quickness and his ball handling ability, and also can stretch him to the three-point line. So you're seeing an all-star, superstar in the making. I was really worried about Franz Wagner and the wings on this team, and you saw evidence of how good this team can be and how they're built to be formidable in the playoff chatter in the East.
Remember, Paolo Banchero, arguably the best player, didn't even play because of a bad groin. Wally, thanks so much. Have a great trip home. We'll see you Monday night when the Knicks are at Brooklyn.
You got it. Sounds good, Bill.
All right, up next, post-game comments from Knicks coach Mike Brown as his Knicks lose tonight to the Magic by 12, dropping now to 9-6 overall in the season.
The Knicks post-game show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
The Knicks lose by 12 to Orlando. Mike Brown's post-game comments, as always, presented by Chase.
Obviously, tough game for us, but again, I got to keep preaching. It's about the next man up. In our case, it's next man up, next man up, next man up. I think something like that. So we have to have guys ready to play. Especially some guys that haven't played minutes, and they don't have to come in and do a lot. Just got to come in and play hard and continue to try to play, try to do or play the way that we play on both ends of the floor. You got to give Orlando a lot of credit. Franz Wagner had a heck of a game for him. Same with Suggs and Bane. Those three guys had a great game for Orlando. We got to do a better job of taking care of the paint. We didn't do a great job of taking care of the paint tonight. 64 points in the paint, that's what they do. 30 free throw attempts, that's what they do. So we have to do a better job in that area while trying to take care of the ball. But give those guys a lot of credit for stepping up and creating some separation late in the ball game.
Have you been able to talk to Landry?
I have not.
How concerned is that?
I don't know much about it. I just know he's got it. I think it's his right. They just told me it's right shoulder injury. I think it's his right shoulder, correct? Yeah. So I don't know much about it. He's going to get a full evaluation tomorrow, correct? Over the next couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight was a little tough to kind of evaluate with 3 rotation guys out, but the struggles defensively is something that you've been bringing up throughout the season. How confident are you, that this group can get it to where you want to be, internally, or is it too soon to tell with where this group can be defensively?
No, I'm confident we can be where we need to defensively. We played well in some instances, and we haven't played well, and that's what you kind of go through, especially during this part of the year. So I do think we can be a really good defensive team, but again, no matter who we throw out there, we got to have a feel and understanding of what we're trying to do on that end of the floor to get things done. No, I don't think it did. It was a one possession ball game. I want to say up until the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. I took Jordan Clarkson out, and Franz, he had like 3 or 4 straight buckets, and we turned the ball over a couple of times during that time. So there was that stretch in the ball game where I think as a group we got a little deflated, and like I said, you got to give Orlando credit. They pounced on us, and we have to do a better job, or we needed to do a better job of playing through their run during that time. But we knew it was going to be a physical game. Not Jalen, and he's a good player, but none of their players really had that type of impact on the game for us. It was, you got to give Franz credit. He had 3 or 4 buckets in a row, and it deflated us a little bit. Turned the ball over a couple of times, and they created separation, and then it was hard to climb back uphill. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we keep working on it. We keep addressing it. We're going to be fine at the end of the day because our guys want it, and they have been better. We were better in Dallas. We were better. We were even better in Miami. I mean, there was a stretch where we were getting better, and I said this before. We're going to go through this through the course of the year. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and hopefully we don't do this too long. But we want to keep trying to climb up, and I've seen us, climb up in that area, and we're going to keep pushing them to be great in that area, and they're going to keep responding to being great in that area.
Mike, the last few games, Mikel's kind of got to halftime with a certain amount of points, and then has kind of dipped off with his shot attempts in the second half, so he hasn't scored as much. Is that just coincidence, or is there something there that you guys need to sort out down the stretch?
No, I have not paid attention to that because, again, we don't run a lot of play calls, and it's something that, obviously Mikel's one of our guys, and we want to make sure that he continues to get looks, and if he's open or he has an advantage off the catch to make a quick decision, that being a snap drive, we want him to be aggressive, but it's not anything that I've looked at and thought has been a problem.
Let's listen in to Josh Hart's post-game comments.
Josh, you knew coming in that this team plays a lot of physicality. How do you guys feel as far as whether or not you match their physicality?
Nah, I don't think we match the physicality at all. Teams like that, obviously, are tough defensively, those kind of things, and you have to use that aggression against them. You got to pick up the pace, play fast, not let them get set. Don't put them to the free throw line and allow them to get easy points and then get the defense set. So we just have to play with more pace when we go against a physical team like that and get, everyone running, flowing in rhythm.
They had 64 points in the paint. Just what did you see that allowed them to get that many looks?
That's just a bad job, on us. Obviously, there's guys who are out there that we probably could have played off of a little bit, and we didn't do that. We let guys, drive across the paint and do all those kind of stuff with no help, no resistance. So we got to watch the film and get better.
Was it tough seeing Landry go down, happen to his shoulder again?
Yeah, obviously, first and foremost, hope he's, good for the most part. Obviously, physically, that's tough, but more so mentally. So, that's always tough. Seeing someone, like Land, obviously, someone who's been battling, and I feel like just a freak accident here or there, and it's just so it's tough. But now it's, like I said, next man up. And we got to figure it out.
What, from your vantage point, what happened on that play with Jalen Suggs?
Yeah, I mean, it was a loose ball. Obviously, we're, jockeying for the ball. I wasn't even looking at him. I'm looking at the basketball, and I didn't even realize I, hit him in the neck until they, slowed it down, second by second. So, it's just a play where obviously bodies are flying, hands are flying, and unfortunately, I got him there, but, there was nothing purposeful, that stuff's happening like this. I don't think I had enough time to process, on a loose ball, grabbing him by the neck or anything like that, so.
Not that play, but just in the whole, is he a guy who kind of frustrates, he kind of gets under people's skin?
I don't think so. I mean, he's a good player, a good defender, physical. And like I said, when he does that and picks up JB, I don't think he did 94 feet, but, 75 feet, we have to make sure we're, whether it's setting screens or getting JB off the ball and playing faster and using that physicality, like I said, to our advantage.
So, Jalen, tight game entering the fourth. What turned?
I mean, for us, we got to be better. Obviously that's the generalization, but they were getting offensive rebound, kick out threes. We didn't close that third quarter well. And they just went on a run, and then it was too late until we kind of adjusted to it. So. We got to start quarters better. We got to end quarters better. Just not a good showing for us in the second half.
John, what are you seeing from the paint defense? They had 64 in the paint. What can you guys do to shore that up?
Just continue to try and keep the ball in front. That's the start of it, and obviously we got to help each other out. And then when it comes to rotations, but it starts with just guarding the ball. And I got to do a better job of that clearly. And no matter what the situation is or the coverage, we got to have each other's backs, and we're just a step late.
When the team.
Orlando scored a season-high 133 points. They beat the Knicks 133 to 121.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Wrapping up the Tri-State Audi Knicks postgame show. Next up for the Knicks at the Nets Monday. Pre-game at 7. We'll have the game for you at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a postgame show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.